First time he's ever been past 7 rounds. Knockdown
Yup, you know what time it is, man. This is your favorite channel, man. This is, of course, CTB. This is Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say what up to him, man.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. We all seen the beatdown together. We all watched it. Of course, we knew which way it was going to go. But, of course, we underestimated or overestimated one of the opponents. Either we underestimated David Benavides or we underestimated David Lemieux. I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that. I will say this. I will take accountability on this part. I did forget how big David Benavides is on fight night. That dude had to be every bit of 190 tonight, man. He came in the ring big as a bitch. What you think about the fight, man? What was your overall appeal of the fight?
It went like I thought it would go. I thought it would go a little bit longer. I was thinking like 5, 6 rounds. The 5th round where I picked it to be a stoppage, and that happened in the 3rd round. Like you said, man, he just was too big for David Lemieux. But the thing that impressed me the most with Benavides was there were 3 things that's elite to me with him. Is his punch placement, how creative he is with his punches, and his hand speed. It's unbelievable how fast his hands are for a guy that size, and all his variations of punches that he can throw from all these different angles is amazing to me. So I mean, he was impressive tonight. I mean, he everything we thought he was. So I mean, I don't want to, talk down on his performance tonight but I expected this because I think highly of David Benavides. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world, especially one of the best fighters at 168. This just shows that he's ready for the big boys, man. Like, we want to see these big fights in 168. So hopefully, we can get, by the end of the year, beginning of next year, we start getting these Canelos against David Benavides, Charlo against Caleb Plant. These guys to match up. Boo Boo maybe can jump in and get a fight with somebody. We want to see these guys, get in the ring together, man, and see who's the best at 168.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. This fight really didn't prove anything to me. Like I said, we all knew the outcome of the fight was going to be. David Lemieux been in too many wars, bro. Like, he been in a lot of wars at 160. Like I said, the only thing I really take responsibility for on this bet was I really, really forgot how big Benavides was. It even, like I said off camera a minute ago, it even caught me off guard when on the graphic before the fight, they put that David Lemieux and Benavides were the same height. That's a bullshit. We both know David Benavides every bit of 6'3", at least 6'2", somewhere around there, and Lemieux ain't nowhere near that height. So it caught me off guard when I seen the graphic, and plus I was like, the weigh-in, you seen at the weigh-in, he was towering over Lemieux. Like the height and size advantage was way in his favor. But I will say this though. I'm gonna say this because I already know it's coming. I know it's coming. It's gonna be a lot of people who are going to be using this fight as a gauge to say that David Benavides is the best at 168. I'm still not convinced of that. He still has to go in there and prove that. He still has flaws that I think somebody like Jamal can take advantage of. He has fast hands, but his feet has to be placed. He has to have set feet to throw his hands. And I think if you coming straight forward on him, you right in line for his shots. He has to be straight in line for him. He kind of remind me, he remind me of? He remind me of the way that Wilder fought Fury on the last fight. He remind me how Fury was coming straight forward on Wilder like he did the second fight. And Wilder was pretty much stationary and wasn't doing any type of movement to avoid the train. His whole game plan was to land a heavy shot. That's how David Benavides fight. He fights like he's going to land a big shot, and he has fast hands to do it, like you said in your breakdown. He has the fast hands to do it, especially that jab. The jab is fast and crispy. But if you have any type of movement, any type of lateral movement, somebody like Andre, I think I get Andre probably the best chance if Andre moved to 68 and is serious about it. I think he have a lot of issues with Andre. I'm being honest. But somebody like Canelo might be a little too short for him, man. What you think about that? I think Canelo may be a little too small for Benavides.
The problem with Canelo is I'm not saying David Benavides will beat him, but Canelo is tailor-made for him. Because like you said, it's gonna be the slick boxer that can give him different angles, that won't let him set his feet and let off those shots. It's gonna keep moving and you know, not stay in the place or be stationary or come straight forward with him. Like you said with Canelo, he got cement feet. So he's not gonna move around. He has great upper body movement, and we all know he's a great counterpuncher. But he's gonna be there for David Benavides to hit all night or to stalk all night. So it's gonna be a question of, can Canelo power keep David Benavides off him, or can Canelo hurt him? So it's gonna be more about who can hurt who in that fight, rather than Canelo outboxing him, because Canelo gonna be there all night for him to get hit or for him to hit back. So it'll be an exciting fight. But Canelo, to me, is tailor-made for David Benavides. But even though, like I said, even though he's tailor-made for him, that doesn't mean he's gonna win. But I see what David Benavides sees in Canelo and why he wants that fight so bad.
I'm not gonna lie with you, but I disagree a little bit. I don't think Canelo's tailor-made for him at all. I think you underestimated Canelo's head movement and the way Canelo. While I'm gonna say this, while David Benavides is big, he's not Bivol big. So we can't get misconstrued about how Bivol did Canelo, for one. And number two, David Benavides.
You don't think he's Bivol big?
No, I don't think he's Bivol big. What I mean by Bivol big, I mean he's big and athletic. He's not Bivol big, like he know how to move he don't move that weight well. David Benavides has to be stationary to punch with power. Bivol had slick feet. Bivol had in and out movement. Bivol had head fakes. Bivol had real boxing. Like Bivol was like a legit boxer in my opinion. He has like some slickness to him. I think I won't use the word tailor-made at all for either one of these guys. I think both of these guys they have certain things that will cause each other issues. I think David Benavides, while he does throw fast punches and he does those combinations, when he throws those combinations, his hands are always down. They're always by his waist when he's throwing. Canelo is slippery in and out with his head. Might have cement feet, but you don't really need fast feet to fight Benavides, because Benavides' feet not moving either. You pretty much got to make him miss one or two shots and then land, like you said, make sure your power is enough to hurt him. I think Canelo has enough power to hurt him. But like you said with Benavides, he's long, so Canelo has to get inside of that length. He has to get inside of that jab to make anything count. He has to get inside of that jab, and that jab is quick and it is snapping. But David Benavides is not the jab and move person like Bivol is. You know what I'm saying? He's not Bivol big. He's just a big guy who comes straight forward. The best way I can explain this is he's a big guy who used to being the big guy. He's used to being the bigger guy in the ring, so he fights that way. He fights like, I'm the bigger guy, I'm gonna walk you down. Bivol didn't fight that way. Bivol fought like, I'm used to being hit hard. I'm used to being able to land my jab and move out the way. Like, he did not want to get hit. I think sometimes, even though David Benavides has great hand defense, he doesn't have any type of head movement or any type of foot movement. So I think it's a different type of big, in my opinion. You freeze?
I mean, yeah. I see what you're coming from on that one. I just think, when I say big, I'm saying as far as just size. I'm not really talking about their skill set. Like I said, I think Bivol and Benavides have two different skill sets, but I think that they both cause Canelo problems because of their size. I think Bivol's size was the main reason why Canelo had a hard time, even though Bivol used a lot of boxing skills, but I think surprised Canelo. I think that Benavides' size is going to cause him problems because he's going to be the taller man. Cause I think Canelo is only 5'8", and I think Benavides is 6 feet tall. Yeah, he's 6 feet tall. He's going to have a longer reach. Like I said, I think he's going to outweigh Canelo probably by 5 to 7 pounds in that fight when they fight. At least 5. It might be 10 pounds. Because David Benavides, I know tonight he's 190 something pounds at 168. So I just think that with a guy like Canelo that's going to be there for him to stalk all night, unless he can hurt Benavides, it's going to be a problem for him, because if he just planning on slipping shots and hitting them all night and thinking Benavides with his hand speed and his placement of punches, he's not going to get his get back in for a long night. And then another thing too, I don't know I think David Benavides in the mid round still throwing 60, 70 punches in a round. Canelo to me has stamina issues. So that's another thing I would watch, in the second half of the fight, as far as Canelo slowing down. Because with David Benavides, if he slow down, he in trouble. Because David Benavides is going to continue to stalk him that whole fight. So, it just, I think both of them got, like you said, weaknesses that the other one can exploit. So I think it'll be a great fight to watch, man. But I got a question though, right quick before I forget. He had 3 WBC belts. What was that? Because neither one of those belts were the main belt. So Canelo, I think, is still holding the WBC belt right now. So what was the 3 belts? Do you know? I guess one was the intern, one was the regular. What was those 3 WBC belts?
Man, I don't know what WBC doing, man. They got so many belts. They got Aztec belts. They got African American belts. They got Black Lives Matter belts. They got, man, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. As far as I know, David Benavides only fight in one weight class, so I know it's not multiple belts for multiple weight classes. I don't know what the 3 belts came from. All I know is I hope he ain't paying sanctioning fees for all 3 of them same belts. And none of them belts mean a goddamn thing when Canelo has all of the. He's unified. Canelo is the undisputed champion. So all those WBC belts really ain't shit, in my opinion. Other than looking good, other than jewelry. It's like buying some plated. It's like gold plated jewelry. It look good until your neck green. When your neck start turning green, it's time to get rid of it. It's like one of those type of things to me. But real quick though, really quick. We kind of broke down what we thought about the Canelo fight with Benavides. What do you think about Jermell Charlo fight with Benavides? Jamal Charlo.
Man, honestly, I'm worried for Jamal in that fight, man, because I think it's not fair for him to come up from 160 and go up to 168 and fight the biggest guy who's probably too big for 168. No, I don't want to say too big. I hate when people say somebody's too big for weight. If he can make the weight, he can make the weight. But he's a huge 168 pounder that's fighting there. So you're talking about a guy that's coming up from 160 to fight at 168. And I don't know how he's going to be able to handle that weight difference. I would like to see Charlo fight one fight at 168 again. I don't want to see him fight anybody, but somebody solid, even if it's Caleb Plant. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Caleb Plant fight first, but throw him in there with David Benavides coming up from 160 to fight him at 168. I would definitely favor David Benavides in that fight, mainly based on that, because I think the size difference may be too much for Charlo to handle, and I don't know if he can hurt him consistently, being that he's a smaller guy coming from 160.
I'm gonna say so. It's gonna piss a lot of David Benavides fans off. I'm gonna say it. I'm not impressed with his wins, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just not really sold on David Benavides yet. I think a lot of the opponents that he fought, really 98% of the opponents that he fought, they all tailor-made for him. Like this guy, David Lemieux, was a guy coming up in weight, who's a come-forward straight fighter, who's been in a lot of wars, who we both knew was gonna get stopped. While we didn't call him getting stopped this early, the whole world knew he was gonna get stopped. Even Vegas knew he was gonna get stopped. David Benavides had a lot of opponents like that, and I really feel. I'm not going to judge this performance and say he can beat Canelo or Charlo. I think they still both give him issues for the same reason why I said before in previous videos why they give him issues. I think Jermell boxing skill, movement, and also his height and reach will give Benavides problems. And like I said, I think Canelo head move will give Benavides problems. But both of those guys, the best way I can explain it is those guys are defensively responsible. Name one defensively responsible opponent Benavides fought that he hasn't had a problem with. I think his opponent before this opponent was a guy, I forgot the guy's name on the top of my head. I promise you I forgot his name. But it was a black guy that everybody thought he was going to knock out early, but the guy went the distance with David Benavides. He went late to the late rounds at least because he was defensively responsible.
You talking about
I can't think of his name.
Canelo's sparring partner.
Yeah, little guy. He was small for the weight. He was a small guy coming up in weight, sparring. Like you say, he was a sparring partner. Wasn't never on that stage before, but he took Benavides to deep water because he was defensively responsible. He didn't have really the pop to get Benavides respect or none of that. He's pretty much was defensively responsible, and he's pretty much caught his range and his rhythm. I really feel Canelo and Charlo can do the same exact thing to Benavides, man. I'm not impressed by him. I'm being honest. I think I'm gonna be honest. I kind of feel the same way I feel about Funfar, man. I think once he once that A level, man, we're going to see what's up with him. In my opinion.
You get yourself in trouble, man.
Huh?
Yeah, you get yourself in trouble, man.
Hey, all I can do is, man, all I can do is speak what I see, man. All I can do is speak the facts from what I see, man. Until you fight that opponent, he the same way to me as Canelo was. But Canelo, for a certain type of opponent, he had issues, so he stayed away from those opponents. But Canelo had issues with the first person that really gave him issues, like a lot of people forgot about, was what's the guy's name? Trout, Austin Trout. He wound up stopping Trout, but early in the fight, Trout was outboxing the shit out of Canelo. And then he went to people to Golden Boy begged them. They was begging him not to fight Laura. They said, please don't fight Laura. Please don't fight Laura. He wound up having trouble with Laura, and some people think Laura actually won that fight. And then a lot of people's opinion. I think David Benavides is gonna have that same issue with a certain style of fighter, man. In my opinion, He just a big guy, man. He just big. Like I said, he's just a guy who's used to fighting smaller guys. And I think a guy that can not so much withstand what he can take, but a guy who's defensively responsible enough not to get hit by what he throws, but at the same time has enough power to make him feel it, is going to give him issues.
He got a lot of hurt. I give you that. He has a lot of hurt in him. He reminds me a lot of Jared Hurd in once he takes.
Jared Hurd, that's a perfect analogy, bro. Only between him and Jared Hurd is Jared Hurd wound up gassing, and like later on in his career, he had too many wars. And Jared Hurd is not as defensively responsible as Benavides is. I think Benavides had a lot better defense than Hurd did. Hurd took a lot of shots. I don't see David, especially this fight here. David Benavides, his defense was on point. I'm not gonna lie to you. He blocked a lot of shit with his hands. He had the phone up and everything. But Lemieux don't have a large arsenal of offense to really worry about, in my opinion. He's heavy-handed, yeah, but it's only really the left hand that's heavy, and a lot of people know that already. But yeah, you got anything else to add? Quick add to this raw, uncut video that we always do after the fight.
I think we covered it all. I'm just curious to see who his next opponent be, so we can get a better gauge of who David Benavides really is.
Is it just me, or did the announcer say that now that he's now in the mandatory spot for Canelo title? I think that's what they said.
That don't mean nothing, man. Canelo running WBC. They don't care about him. What do mandatory mean for Canelo? They don't mean shit.
It's like the more he duck, it's like the more Canelo duck that man, the more belts they give him. Like, oh, Canelo duck you again this time, we'll give you another belt. There's 3 fucking belts to give this man. All right, man, with that being said, man, this is your favorite channel, man. This is CTB. This is Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say peace to him, all right?
Hey, everybody, remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment. Let's keep this channel going. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, God, peace and love, and we out of here. Take care.
Peace.
First time he's ever been past 7 rounds.